Hey y'all, peace on earth. How are y'all doing today? My name is Gabrielle Ether and welcome to Awake the Wisdom Within. Today we have a pick a card reading for message from your future self. I almost forgot what the reading was going to be about, y'all. Messages from your future self, because I have other readings to do today. So this is just a message from your future self. But the thing is, y'all, this is the near future, okay? Spirit said no more than 3 weeks off. So what I was picking up was, it seems as if it's a concern or worry or a concern that you guys might have. And you guys need answers. You need advice. So, messages from your future self, advice from your future self. You really want to know, how is this going to play out? So, whatever kind of message or advice you may need, whatever kind of questions that you have or concerns that you may have, and it's something that's involving the very near future, something that's not far off, but you really need to know, like, hey, I know this is not far off, but I really need to know how is this going to play out. Spirit says no more than 3 weeks of 3 weeks away, because I don't even think it's going to be a full month. It might be for some of you guys. So really just take it how it resonates, okay? So be led to whatever you're going to be led to. So we have the Phoenix card. We have the Panther card. We have the Bat card here. Yeah, I thought this was so weird how these cards came out, because I didn't pick a deck, but all of these animals in spiritual animal, I have been like, they have played a major part in my life. So I feel like these are some major messages for you guys, like answers that you really need to know, okay? So I'm going to actually read what's on the card to see if I'm going to read what's on each card, and I'm going to see if you guys need that. This is for those of you who feel like you might want to see the messages that's on front of the cards, and that's going to make you, it's going to help you pick whichever powers for you. I don't usually do this. I usually just say pick a card, but I felt necessary to do this time. This is a Phoenix card, and it also says empower, fire activations, bring creative and spiritual freedom. Put that back there. Now we have the Panther card, and it says protection. Consider who you allow to take your energy and who you give it away to freely. And the next card we have Bat. Listen up. You are working through deep and soul patterns. You are working through deep soul patterns. Release any outdated beliefs that surface. Wow, did that not resonate with me? And I did not pick a pal, y'all, but that really did for me. So, y'all, I really feel like it's going to be some major messages, things that you guys really need to hear. Okay, so like I said, that might help you guys pick the card, but that does not mean that's what these messages are about here. So, I'm not going to say group 1, group 2, group 3. I'm not going to label them like that. In the timestamps, they will be labeled by how I pull them, because I tell you guys all the time, when it comes to me pulling the cards, I never can just go pick like what's first, or what looks like it's first, or what looks like it's, whether it's this card or that card. I can't just pull whatever looks like it's first. I've done it before, and then when I pause this and then I press play and I come back, sometimes Spirit don't want me to just go to what's first. Sometimes Spirit says read the middle card first, and that's what I do, and that's what the cards are going to be labeled like in the timestamps. So if you're used to picking by numbers, then go to the timestamps and pick one of those numbers. But the name of the cards will be listed in the timestamps by how I'm led to whichever one I'm led to first, okay? So are you guys ready, or are you waiting on me? Well, if you're waiting on me, let's go. Hey, group 1, this is group 1 for those of you guys who were led to the Panther card. It's like I was telling you guys before in the intro that it's hard for me to just pick whichever group looks like it's first. Once I press play, I just have to pick whichever one is calling to me first. And I did feel like this one was going to be the one that was just calling to me. It was just the middle deck. So the middle deck is number one. And that's how it's going to be listed in the timestamps. Panther card number one. And that's how my videos are going to be made, you guys. So for those of you guys who relate to this Panther card or number one, here are your cards. Let's see what we got here. We got, for the tarot cards, we have in reverse, 5 of coins. And we have the Son of Knives. Okay, if you guys know what those tarot cards mean, I don't really know what they mean. I kind of sort of do. I don't read them by the tarot definition. I read them intuitively unless Spirit tells me to read it tarot. For your Oracle cards, you have Straddling Worlds. It's in reverse too. I'm going to leave it like that. We have Hollow Bone. And then we have Magician's Sword, Confidence in Your Magic. The energy on this one is like a warning. So maybe you guys have been concerned about oh my gosh, y'all, before I forget, I want to tell you guys, I should have said it at the beginning. I know I was telling you guys that I wasn't really taking any more personal readings. I am taking personal readings again right now, okay? So, and maybe that's going to come in handy for you guys when it comes to this reading. I don't know. We'll see by the end of it. So, I see what this says, protection. So, I guess maybe the concern that you guys have had, and I guess it's more of a concern or a worry. Maybe you are concerned that someone is out to get you in some type of way. This might not be physically, this might not be a physical harm, or it might be. But in some type of way, someone is like threatening your livelihood. I'm not saying your life, I'm saying your livelihood. So this is, your job. This is your home. This is, the way you feed yourself or your kids. Someone is coming for you when it comes to that. So for some of you guys, maybe you've recently lost your job. And so now you're wondering, well, how am I going to do this or how I'm going to do that? Since you probably recently lost it, or something is coming up in the near future, and your future self is about to tell you how you got through this. Your future self is going to tell you maybe not how you got through this, but maybe they're going to give you clues about how to get through this, because we're not supposed to know everything. So they're going to help you get through this so you can get through this. It's a good thing that you're here. So I was hearing a very specific message, you guys. I'm hearing for some of you guys, it might not be necessarily the bills. Some of you guys are just worried about what am I going to do now? Like, maybe you felt like the last thing you were in was your life. You was like, that was my life. That was all I knew. And it just got taken from me. Oh my gosh, I've been there. And it's like it would seem obvious that if anything leaves your life, it's because something better is coming, or either you're on to what you're really supposed to be doing. You would think that would be obvious, because of course we lost it, so that means it gotta be something else. But we don't feel like that. We don't feel like that at the time when things like that happen. And you feel like, but this was for me. I saw all the signs, all the synchronicities. I had so much success during this time, and it's just gone now. It's hard for me to believe anything else was for me. But you're going to higher heights. It is, though, y'all. It is what it is. It's gone, and now something else is coming. See, you were straddling, you know how like the old people say, straddling the fence. That's kind of what you were doing, straddling between these worlds. You found yourself doing something that was making you a lot of money, or either it was bringing you a lot of peace. This don't have to be a job, y'all. Apply what I'm saying to your situation, because I can say job all day, but the words that I'm speaking can still apply to your situation, even though it's not a job. So just allow this to resonate if it does. If it don't, pick another deck, or maybe there's another video for you. But I feel like what you guys were doing was straddling between worlds. You was just, some of you guys were staying to where it was safe. Some of you guys you were staying there because it was safe. You was doing this because it was safe. Some of you guys, it's not that it was safe. For some of you guys, it was good to you. It was peaceful. You didn't want anything else because it was peaceful. It was good to you. For some of you guys, it was more so like straddling the fence. For a lot of you guys who picked this deck, probably all of you, because the reason why I say that is because this is straddling worlds, wandering between realms. You were not yet at your destiny. And now, with that being said, some people say you pick your own destiny. I disagree. And I've talked about this on my channel plenty of times, you guys. I don't agree with that, and I don't teach people that. I think destiny is destiny. Destiny goes by what the definition says. If you're destined to do something, then that means it doesn't matter what you're thinking. It doesn't matter how much you are influencing your own life. You cannot deter away from your destiny. Now, you have free will. So if you choose to deter away from your destiny, then you would never get there. You could choose to do whatever you want to do because you have free will. But what's destined for you is the very thing that you are put on this earth to do. Now, you can't pick that. There is something, and I feel like if you're led to my video and you don't believe how I'm teaching, there's other people that teach the way that you believe, okay? I'm not for you. My teaching is going to resonate for the people who feel like I do. And I feel like you know that it's a destiny for you. And it's something in the Bible that says, I knew you before I formed you in your mother's womb. So when you was in the astrals, when you was in heaven, when you was up in the ethers, you know, whoever you was before you came in your mother's womb, the Creator said, I had already created you. I had to be a certain way. I had already assigned a certain assignment to you. That's what the Creator says. Now, I'm not a big Bible believer either. I just go by what sounds like it makes sense to me. And I like that Bible verse because I believe in it. Spirit has shown me that's one of the things that I can believe in, whether it's in the Bible, whether it's in any other book. I'm going to go by whatever spirit says, hey, this resonates to you. It resonates with my spirit is what I'm saying. It resonates with my soul. I can believe it. And I feel like this is something that resonates with you guys too. And you've been wandering in between worlds. There are a lot of things that we can do that's going to feel nice. It's going to seem like it's good for us at the moment, but it is not our true destiny. And what happens is if you continue to go outside of your destiny, you will have a tower moment where spirit will literally take you, like take you away from it, jack you out of it. And it always, y'all, I think I've told you guys this like numerous of times. Someone asked me in a personal reading before, she was like, is it always bad? I said, yeah. It might not be too bad, but if you don't leave somewhere when spirit wants you to leave, especially if you chosen now, especially if you chosen, but if you don't leave somewhere when spirit wants you to leave, spirit is not going to let you mess up your destiny. They will literally like yank you out of that situation, so you will continue to go on your path right on time. A lot of the times, y'all, we're wondering, are we on the wrong path? And sometimes we can be, but spirit don't really allow us to get outside of our paths, especially if you chosen. With that being said, you have your free will. There are some people, spirit keeps yanking them out of the situation, yanking them out of that situation, and they continue to go right back. You know, some people are just not going to yield to doing what it is that spirit wants them to do. And you know what happens? They're just going to keep going around that mountain because there's never going to be a set place for them until they go to that place that is set for them. So you can go around here thinking that you're choosing your destiny, and the only thing you're going to be choosing is circles. That's the only thing you're going to be choosing is circles. You're going to be going around in that circle over and over again until you choose that destiny that is destined for you to have. Meaning, the Creator said, before I put you into your mother's womb, I already gave you an assignment. I already said, this is what you're supposed to do when you get to earth. With that being said, can it be more than one? Yeah. But right now where you're at, or where you were, that wasn't it for you. Okay? Your future self is talking to you now. They're telling you, you don't know what I was just saying, look, teachability. I'm going to tell y'all what I'm getting when it comes to this. I'm telling you guys, this is a teachable moment. Hollow bone. This is a teachable moment. I'm telling you guys, I'm telling you guys something that you don't know. You don't know that what you're about to do is continue to go in these circles, okay? Some of you guys know what your destiny is. You know what you're called to do, but you're scared. You need to have more confidence in it. Your future self is saying, every time I see this card, this is like okay, I know what your future self is saying. I was already getting the message, y'all. So I'm glad I saw this card. This is like initiation. Your future self is saying, the fact that this card is even out here, I feel like you guys made the right choice. And you actually did the thing. You actually found yourself at your destiny. You found yourself at the place that you are destined to be at. You did the right thing. I'm going to say the fact that it was in reverse is because it's a strong possibility that you guys didn't choose your destiny. Either you went back to what was safe, you went back to what you thought was peaceful, or, you didn't try hard enough, or, you just chose wrong. Now, with that being said, what's going to end up happening is that you're going to keep going around in those circles or keep staying in that comfort zone. And let me tell you guys another thing that I teach people. Sometimes you're not going out, you're not supposed to be going outside of this so-called comfort zone, okay? Sometimes you need to stay within what fits you, what makes you happy, okay? But for you guys, I'm not saying that. I'm saying I'm a big believer in that now. I am, but what I'm telling you guys is that you can't stay where it's comfortable. But you just gonna leave this message and go to another message and you're gonna get the same message if you haven't already got it before. I know how this works. So it happens to me too. Okay, you guys. Your future self said, for some of you guys, your confidence is what's gonna get you. You really feeling like, yeah, I know what I'm supposed to do, but I don't know if I can do it. Some of you guys want to go off on a business venture, but you don't feel like you're going to get the sales. Maybe you feel like been there, done that. You don't feel like you're going to get the sales. You feel like what I really want to do is something that a lot of people are doing, but your future self is saying, look, we were initiated. We actually got to where we were going. So your future self is saying, this is no more than 3 weeks away, y'all. So your future self is saying, hey, I remember that day we were sitting on that couch and we were in doubt. And where I'm at now is on the other side of it. But since I remember that day, I remember when I almost made the wrong decision. You know? So it's kind of like if you could peep into your future and you could see like, hey, like this is what's destined for you to see. And now that's why this reading came. So your came back from the future just to warn you guys, to make sure that you get there and make sure that you don't change the future. Like I said, I don't feel like you could just say, oh, I like to do this, I'm going to pick this and allow this to be my destiny. No, there's already something that's planned for you before you even arrived in your mother's womb. There's always been a plan for you. For some of you guys, when I was saying at the beginning, maybe someone is after you physically, and it's not your life, but it could be your life or your livelihood. Another thing I'm getting is literal also. Somebody is threatening someone, and I'm just trying to see the best way to say this. The best way to say this is just to say it. Don't fear people. Don't fear humans, okay? Whatever this person is wrestling with inside of themselves is their own demons, okay? When anyone has a problem with you, they have a problem with, that's their problem, period. Period is their problem. If you are that afraid, get you some protection in some type of way. Protect yourself magically if you can. Call on a worker like me or someone that you trust to protect yourself from this evil energy or entity that's after you. Some people are after you. This could just be some evil spirit that's trying to stop you from your destiny. I'm hearing all of this is trying to stop you from your destiny some type of way. So somebody messed around and find themselves like in a bad relationship with some evil energy, and this evil energy is showing you who they are, and it's hard for you to get rid of this evil energy. That's okay. Put something on them, okay? If you don't know how to get rid of them, put something on them. Do some spell work, okay? It will work. I've done it before to people. A lady called me. I was about to talk about the one that happened very recently, but another one that's coming to my head is one that happened a while back, because this one was more aggressive. This was an individual that just did not want to take a no for an answer, and they kept harassing this person over and over and over again. And the girl got scared, and she got scared, and she thought this person became dangerous. I ended up doing the work. She said she never heard from that person again. So some of you guys might have to do that. Some people are coming for you because they're jealous of you. Some people are sending negative energy towards you, and it might not be black magic, but it's showing up as black magic just because they keep speaking so negative on you. And when you're an empath, or you're just sensitive to certain energies like that, you're picking up on it. And if certain things are going wrong in your life, do a spiritual bath, because it's that negative energy from these haters. Spirit says, but you are protected. And for some of you guys, if you have more confidence in yourself, then you'll know that you're always protected. Don't fear nobody. Don't fear no human being, okay? For those of you who feel like you're in danger, take the necessary steps. Don't. And my mama always say, I tell people all the time, my mama always say, when you find a fool, leave a fool. And I saw that to be so true, because foolish people, a fool, they feel like they don't have anything to lose. Don't play with these people, okay? Don't feel like, for some of you guys, don't feel like I can, they just playing. No. Everybody's not playing, especially if they're foolish. Get away from this person, take necessary precautions, get you some protection, do some spell work, or get you a restraining order, do whatever you need to do. Move if you have to. Okay, so after everything that I've said, I think I've gotten the message out. Your future self came to warn you guys, but now that you hear the warning, take heed to it. I think you guys gonna be all right. We already see that you came out on the other side, okay? As long as you make the right choice, I believe you guys are gonna do that. And that's all, y'all. Comment in the comment section below if you want to say anything pertaining to the reading. I read all the comments to the best of my ability if I catch them, but most of the time I don't have too many comments, so therefore I do catch them. So like the video if you liked it, subscribe, and that's all, y'all. Oh no, I usually say continue to come and grow with me and subscribe so we can become a part of each other's tribe. Bye, y'all. Hey, group 2, or for those of you guys who were drawn to the Phoenix card, here are your cards. Let's see what they are. Let's see, we got 10 of baskets, 8 of sticks. I'm going to turn this upright. Last deck, I was taking all those cards in reverse. That one, I'm not. If any of these cards come out in reverse, I don't think I'm going to take them. I just feel like you have the benefactor card. You have, yeah, I'm going to turn all of them around. I'm just feeling like that. My Scorpio card, Spirit of the River. Deep quiet, meditation and stillness. Okay, so you guys are going through this, I'm hearing metamorphosis. You're definitely going through this cycle, this rebirth. I said metamorphosis. I'm saying rebirth. Like we all don't know, that's what the phoenix symbolizes, right? Well, the phoenix literally gave birth, birthed up its old self to give birth to its new self. The time that you're coming up on, this transformation that you're going through is way more positive than you think it is. So this is messages from your future self, your near future. It's going to be way more positive than you think it is. I think you guys are nervous. You want to know how something is going to play out. It's going to play out way better than you think. I hear like thinking, you know. I hear just I hear self-sabotage. I hear negativity. Someone that's used to just kind of looking at the cup as halfway empty rather than halfway full. Now, for us who think like that, because I know I can get like that sometimes, this comes from being let down so many times. But hey, that stuff is all in your past, okay? You are fearing the worst for no reason. Your future self is saying, hey, it's something that you, okay, for some of you guys, this message is not gonna be that long. Let me get the camera situated. Okay. For some of you guys, something that you're waiting on, and you probably, I think some of you guys are waiting on something and you want a yes or no. Is this going to happen for me or not? I'm not going to say yes or no, because it's probably not as simple as yes or no. Like the yes could be negative for some of you guys and the no can be positive. And I know on YouTube, when a lot of people do, not everybody, but a lot of people do yes or no's, it's usually the yes is positive and the no is negative. So I don't feel like it's just that simple. But I will say, whatever the positive result is, that's what's going to happen, okay? I heard you get nervous every time you do this. So I don't know where they came from. I don't know where they came from. Y'all, comment in the comment section below and tell me what's your situation when it came to that. Tell me if that resonated with you, because I'm hearing this. Okay, I don't care if you're hearing this message next year. I need to know. So, or at least I want to know. I hear you get nervous every time you do this. So maybe is it a doctor's appointment for some of you guys? Some of you guys may have to periodically go to the doctor. Are you pregnant or something? That's just the first thing that came to my head. And so you have these doctor's appointments. I'm hearing dialysis for some of you guys. I'm hearing lupus, and it's another one. I'm seeing this person I know that has to go to the doctor periodically, and I forgot what her situation was. But anyways, whatever this is, do you guys go to the doctor periodically? So therefore, is that the right word? If I'm using the wrong word, ignore me. But every now and then you gotta go to the doctor or somewhere. It's something that you do. Apply this to your situation, and you might have to do it every couple of months, or maybe you do it every year, maybe you do it every couple of weeks, and you have this appointment coming up. So you get nervous. Sometimes you might have bad results, sometimes you might have good results. The next time you do this, you will have good results, okay? Your spirit self is saying, yeah, you came at the right time, so we can tell you, yeah, you had good results this time. Don't worry about it, okay? I'm gonna see, is there anything that you guys can do to keep it like this? I would say you're definitely gonna have good results. I think it's gonna turn out even better than what it usually. This is something that you guys have done before. It's gonna turn out better than what it usually do, and this time it's going to come with some perks. Whatever this is, it's going to come with some perks some kind of way. So, spirit has been fighting off something in someone's body too. If you are fighting some type of disease, just know, do what you got to do. Do what you've been doing, okay? So, the things that you know that's working. So, because spirit is working too, and spirit has been fighting off these things that's trying to come against you. If it's something in your body, your spiritual team has been fighting off this stuff that's corrupting your body. If it's something if it's just negative energy, if it's just negative thoughts, your spiritual team is trying to help you fight off those negative thoughts and those negative energies that are coming against you. Some of those negative energies that are coming against you are coming from other people, because other people just don't want to see you do good, and they're constantly at their homes talking about you to other people on the phone, and really hoping that you don't, like, your next move is not going to be good. And I heard your next move is going to be your best move. Whatever it is, if this is literal moving home, if this is whatever kind of moves that you're making, like I said, this is something that you've done before, okay? And it could have been 5 years ago. It's just something that you've done before. And it could have been this might be something that you've never done before, but you've went after stuff before. And the fact that you went after stuff before and it did not help, or it didn't work, you kind of nervous now. So spirit is like, that's why I heard spirit say, you get nervous every time you do this, but this time it's going to be good. This time you're going to have good results, okay? So quiet your mind, quiet your spirit, quiet those negative thoughts that are in you. Some of you guys, take you a spiritual bath, okay? Take you a spiritual bath. Wash away all that negativity that's around you right now, because some of you guys just have stinking thinking, and it's not coming from nobody else but you. Some people, it's outside forces too that's sending you negative energies, whether they know it or not. Some of you guys just kind of have a habit of thinking negative because, hey, you're justified, okay? Because who wouldn't think negative after you've been told, like, no so many times, or after you've been burnt so many times? We're humans, okay? So you're justified. But what we gonna do is we just gonna get past that, okay? We're gonna get past that, and no more thinking. I got that from Minnow Pun. I haven't watched him in a while, but I always say that now because he used to always say it, and now I say it. So no thinking from here on out, and that's all you guys need to know. I don't feel like this is anything you're gonna miss. This is something that even if you have thinking, you're still gonna get it, okay? But you're just wondering, is this something that you're gonna get? Is this something that you're going to have good results about? Some type of way you guys are waiting on something positive to happen. If it's just whatever it is, you're waiting on the results you want is positive. And this has everything to do with this metamorphosis that you're going through. Once you get to wherever you're going, this is going to be it's like you're going to be in a new space, mentally, spiritually is what I'm really getting. Definitely physically too. I don't want to leave it out because, like I said, I know this is literal moving for someone, but I'm going to be using that term a lot because what you're doing is literally moving from one space to another space. But I want to say this is more so spiritually and emotionally, mentally. You're moving from one mindset to another mindset. This is metamorphosis that you're going through, okay? Because That's one reason why you guys are so nervous, because whatever it is that you're trying to do in your everyday life, you just don't want it to be like what has happened to you before. But you don't know, this has everything to do with your spiritual growth. Just by this decision that you have to make, or just by you going to wherever you're trying to get to, just by these results that's going to happen, this has everything to do with your next move in life. This has everything to do with you growing spiritually. I don't care if it's getting a new job. This new job is going to be about, it's going to have everything to do with where you are supposed to be spiritually, okay? So you guys are going to higher heights and deeper depths. Depths. I always say depths, not depths. Depths. In the spirit realm, okay? So no more thinking. Only think positive about this, you guys. Know that whatever you're waiting on, or whatever results, or whatever you're worried about, if it's going to come out positive or not, it's definitely going to come out positive. Look forward for this being better than it has ever been. Look forward for new perks to come with this stuff that you don't even know. And don't let nothing stop you either. Don't let nothing stop you. I feel like your spiritual team is not going to let you, but don't now that you're hearing this message, yeah, just make your own decisions when it comes to you doing something. Go through with it is what I'm hearing. Go through with it. Don't let any negativity stop you from not going through with this, or not going. So I don't know, like if this is a doctor's appointment or something you're considering, I don't even want to go, okay? You need to hear these results. And I think that is all, y'all. So comment in the comment section below if you guys want to discuss this reading at all. And that's all, y'all. Continue to come and grow with me and subscribe so we can become a part of each other's tribe. Bye. Hey, group 3, for those of you guys who were drawn to this back card, here are your cards. Okay, first off, I want to tell you guys I am back to taking personal readings. I was only taking emergencies only, but right now I'm open to take whoever comes in. So we have the 8 of coins. We have, if you guys know what these cards mean, tarot, I don't read them like that unless I know the meaning and spirit tells me to read them like that. I just read them intuitively. So I'm just letting you guys know. I say it on like all the readings, so you guys know I am an intuitive reader. That's why I mainly just read oracle cards. Okay, so this is the 4 of Knives, and Aunt Caroline, which would be the Wheel of Fortune. And traditional tarot, we have Covenant. We have Vanishing Mirror, Ego, Sublime, whatever. Stars in the Sky, Limitless Possibility. You guys, the first thing I heard, I'm just thinking about other stuff to y'all. The first thing I heard was soulmate. Oh wow, Spirit said this is supposed to be advice from your near future. So this is like what, no more than 3 weeks away, like I said at the beginning. So if you guys don't have a soulmate, Spirit says you're gonna have to prepare yourself a little bit. It's gonna be some a bit of breaking down the ego that you have, that us single people tend to get sometimes, where, especially if you've been single for a long time, where it's just you, maybe just you and your children, or maybe just you. So you don't got to follow by nobody else's rules. You don't got to consider nobody else's ways. You guys remember, one thing a friend told me maybe 2 days ago. It was just yesterday. Friend recently told me something, and I told him, I said, that's good advice. He said, remember, he said, you guys are from, he wasn't talking about a relationship that I'm in. It wasn't about that. Just to let you guys know that we were just on relationship stuff. We were just on that subject. So, he wasn't talking to me at all. He just said, when it comes to relationships, he said people have to remember that you're really going into it as we're two people from two different planets. He said you have to think about it like that, because both of you guys were probably raised differently. Now that's not gonna happen with everybody, but one thing I know I've learned in certain relationships, and when I'm out of relationships, you guys, I ask myself, what did you learn? And there's certain things that I might pick up later on, and there's some things I know I learned immediately. And one thing I can say that I've learned in life, I've dated people who were just raised differently than me. Um, Let me say this for an example. I was raised to, it was very, my mama, she really made it a point to my whole life. I've always thought that I was not my mama's favorite. My twin sister, she's the favorite. And me and my younger sister, not so much, okay? But with that being said, I've always felt like my mama treated me differently, and that she spoke to me differently. She would speak to me more harshly than she did them. So with that being said, she did have a certain way about her where there's certain things she wholeheartedly believed in not doing. Like I said, I always felt like my mom was just gonna go off on me for no reason. But there were certain things that she just did not believe in doing. And so, with that being said, I was raised to not go so far. And where so, you might meet someone who was raised to do that. And so, to go far, say like with their words or something like that. And so I didn't realize that until I thought about it one day, and I was like, hold on. My mama would always say, it's certain things she just would not put up with from nobody, me from nobody. And I didn't even realize that, but I realized it one day, and I was like, that's why I found it so disgusting, because I was raised against that. And I realized it one day, y'all. I was like, yeah, my mama didn't raise me to be like that. And this person goes there. The one thing that my mama despised is she put it in me, and now I despise it. And so, and then I realized, now me and this person did not work out for other reasons. Now, but I realized that would have been one of those things that I could have looked over, because it wasn't, now you guys, you know how to use your wisdom, okay? We're adults, so I believe you guys know what I'm saying. With that being said, you're not single anymore. We have to consider other people's ways, and other people's rules are not going to be like your rules, okay? Now, if you about this single life, you feel like you can't do it, hey, it's not for everybody. I'm not judging you, okay? But for those of you guys who want to know because there's somebody coming for you. Or maybe if you're with someone right now, this is going to be a way for you guys to get closer, because maybe there's some confusion coming. Realize this person was raised differently than you. Now, even though this person does that thing that you despise, that don't mean that this person, how can I put it? I don't feel like this person is just toxic to where they'll do something like hurt you or something like that. And you guys know that. Like, you guys know this is still someone that you deal with. This person just have ways different than yours. What you can do, since you know something like this is coming up, you can teach this person the correct way to go by life. Say, hey, I understand you've been doing this for so long, but let me try to explain to you how you can't continue to go through life like this. Let me explain to you the negative repercussions of you continuing to act like this, because some people don't know better. Some people might go there, whatever the there is for you guys. Some people might go to these extremes and they're not doing it to be evil. They just feel like, hey, this is, well, what I was raised, this is what I always seen. It's nothing to me. It means nothing to me. But you, on the other hand, you might think it's disgusting. You think it's evil. You think this person is evil. When this person is some people do the thing that you're thinking about. When people go there, they go to the extreme, that thing that you really don't like. Some people can be evil when they do that. Some people don't know any better. So what you do is you show this person the negative repercussions of continuing to act like that. Or either you show this person like, hey, let me show you how wrong this is. A lot of times you can help people by telling them, put yourself in other people's shoes and see if you would like for this treatment to happen to you. Now, if you got a fool, didn't I just get finished saying this? Was it on the other reading or was it at the beginning of this reading? Because I just got finished saying this. Another thing I was saying that my mama said, say y'all, when you find a fool, leave a fool. I think I said that on the last reading. And that's kind of what I'm saying now, because it's just one thing that my mama just despised. And this was pretty much it. And I know other people say that, but my mama, she would say it all the time. When you find a fool, leave a fool. If someone's a fool, they don't care anything about themselves or nobody else, okay? They feel like they have nothing to lose. So if you can't tell this person nothing, and if you tell this person, hey, these are bad actions, and they don't care that it's bad, then hey, yeah, that person just might either be ignorant or they have evil in them. I don't feel like this person have evil in them. I just don't feel like this about group 3's person. I think they're just ignorant. I think they don't know. Now, some people are just not ready, y'all. So this is coming up in your near future. Your future self is telling you guys, hey, this is something that's coming up. We want to show you how to get out of it, or we want to prepare you for it. We want to prepare you for how different someone is going to be for you. So you won't just throw in a towel. For some of you guys, though, you're going to find yourself in this situation, and the person might not be receptive. And if you find someone, I'm telling you guys now, from your future self, because your future self is saying, hey, this is something that I see, that I've already been through. I see this coming. Once you find yourself in this situation and the person is not receptive, then, don't feel like you got to keep giving this person a chance. This person is showing you who they are. They're immature and they're not ready. Period. It's as simple as that. If you see someone with a toxic character, and you try to explain to them, hey, like, this is something that is toxic, and you try to explain it to them, and they just don't care. They don't see their actions as negative. They don't even respect you enough to say, you know what, let me try to change this, or let me, or either. And I think for some of you guys, the person is going to be receptive, and they're going to say, hey, yeah, that doesn't sound good. I didn't realize what I was doing was so bad. You got you a keeper then. But if they just they're not trying to act right at all, and they're not receptive to you when you know what you're saying is right, and you go to them in a loving way, in a peaceful way, and they're not willing to change those toxic actions that they have, then your future self wants you to know, don't keep going forward, okay? There's a soulmate for some of you guys, and your future self don't want you guys to be don't want you guys to continue to be with someone that is never going to, like, time is too precious for that. Someone that's never going to change. I just heard bells will be ringing. That's all I heard. The Christmas song. So wedding bells is coming for some of you guys. The main thing that they want you to know is someone got a salt and pepper situation coming. You're going to be quite different from your soulmate. But it can work for some of you guys. The person that you're with, you're going to see that this is your soulmate. I'm looking at this card, y'all. And the whole time I was talking, it was coming from this card. And some of this one too. And this one too. Just so you'll know. Because sometimes people say, you didn't read all the cards. I've heard people say that before. You didn't read all the cards. I'm reading all the cards. You just don't know. Like, I can look at the cards and get one little thing from it. Sometimes I pick it up and I will show you guys, but sometimes I'm just reading, especially if I'm doing a lot of channeling like I'm doing now too. But like I said, if you're already with someone, just to keep you guys encouraged, just know you're going to see feathers. Feathers are going to start coming to you. If you don't see them physically, you might dream about them, or you might think about them some type of way. You might get a vision about feathers. And that's going to be your confirmation, okay? But like I was saying, y'all, if you're already with this person, you're going to see that, hey, this is actually the person that you're going to be with. Especially if you have this talk with this person and they are receptive, and you tell them, hey, I haven't been liking this about you. Yeah, they're like, you know what? I didn't know that was actually bad. I didn't know, I just wasn't, I don't mean no harm. I didn't know that was that detrimental. But now that you put it like this, I understand. Like, wow, I don't want to be like that. That could be your sign right there that that's your soulmate. Things are starting to work in you guys' favor. There's a lot of peace that's going to come from this situation, this soulmate. Because I feel like you guys have been struggling. in a lot of different ways. And this soulmate that's coming in, or the person that you're with now, and you're going to see that this person is your soulmate, especially when you see how receptive they are about their actions, because some of you guys are about to turn this person away, but you got to have this conversation with them, because this person is going to provide financial stability for you. They're going to help give you peace. You're not going to have to do so much that you've been doing. You guys have been praying for that, okay? Don't feel like you have to settle. For those of you who are already with someone, now you go to this person and tell them about their ways, and you see that they are not receptive. You see that they still want to be stubborn and stuck in their ways. Don't settle, okay? Because when I see this card, sometimes I say the sky is the limit. And we know the sky is not the limit. You can go much further than the sky, But to what we see is the sky. You can go past that. You can go to the galaxy, you guys. So what I'm saying is, don't feel like you're not going to find that perfect person. You're going to find that perfect person for you. She might not be perfect, but they can be the perfect person for you. Okay? And so your soulmate is either here or coming. For those of you guys, so I'm talking to 3 types of people. For those of you guys, you're already with someone. I think this conversation is coming because you know that you already don't like this person's ways. Don't give them excuses if you know you're telling them the right thing and they're just like, hey, this is just the way I am. This is the way I'm going to be. Your soulmate is coming. Don't miss your soulmate. Your future self is saying that soulmate can possibly be here within 3 weeks. Like I was saying at the beginning, these are messages from the near future. And I was saying no more than 3 weeks. So don't settle. Okay? You can find the very best person for you. Don't think that you can't. Once you see this person is just foolish, leave a fool. You see a fool, you leave a fool. They don't want to do no better. Okay? Don't give them the oops, y'all, the camera cut off. But I was saying, you don't have to settle because your true soulmate is coming. And then I'm also talking to people who are already with someone and you don't know if they are it or not it. Look for those feathers for one. And then I believe you're going to know once you have this conversation with this person and you see that they are the type of person that can change their ways. And those of you guys who are single right now, your future self wants you to get prepared because they're saying, hey, you have a soulmate coming and they want you to be able to be prepared for the type of person this is going to be, because the person is going to be pretty opposite from you. And they want you to know, hey, like, you're gonna have to come down out of your ego a little bit, because you're used to having things one way, but you're gonna have to learn how to share like our parents tell us when we're young. Okay, and that's all, y'all. Comment in the comment section below